so today we're starting day 3 of dividing fractions into groups. And in this video, I'm going to show you why we have to be able to know how to do the algorithm, because eventually we get to a point where we can't draw pictures for each division, but we have to understand what the division is actually doing. And so right here I have 10.5. And I'm going to divide it into 2 equal groups. And again, thinking about money, I easily in my head mentally, right, could say, okay, 10 divided by 2 is 5, and half a dollar divided by 2 is a quarter. So the answer, I think, should be 5 1/4, or 5 1/4, right? And mentally, I'm just thinking that because that's dividing by 2. But we run into a problem when we start saying, okay, what happens when I take 10.5 and divide it by 3 1/3? And so we'll get to that here in a second. But right now, I'm just going to go through our steps. So step 1 is to convert this mixed number into an improper fraction. 2 times 10 plus 1 is 21. And we keep our denominator of 2. Okay, then I come over and change the division into multiplication. And I have to take or rename 2 as an improper fraction. So to rename 2, I say, okay, 2 divided by 1 would equal 2. And now I've renamed 2 as 2 divided by 1. Once I've renamed 2 divided by 1, I take the reciprocal, and we've been practicing this all week. The numerator becomes the denominator, and the denominator becomes the numerator, and we call that the reciprocal. Okay, so now I rewrite. I have 21 over 2 multiplied by 1/2. And I should get 21 because 21 times 1 is 21. And then I should get 2 times 2 is 4. 21 divided by 4 equals 5, with a remainder of 1, and keep my denominator. So my mental math was correct. And we usually have a problem like this, and it's usually pretty simple. But what happens when we start increasing the complexity of these problems? And so I'm going to start a new board here and delete this. And let's take a different problem. Oops, let's take a different problem, such as, again, 10.5 divided by 3.5. And I can't do a real good mental estimation on this one. But what I can do is estimate and then try and come up with an answer that's close. And so I might take 10 here and round it up to 12, and take 3 and round it up to 4. And I know that 12 divided by 4 is 3. So I'm going to put my estimation out here. 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3. And you might, well, why am I doing this? Well, you're doing this so that you know your answer will be around 3. Maybe it'll be 4. Maybe it'll be 2. Maybe it'll be 3 something, but my answer should be around 3, so I know whether or not my answer makes sense. So now this problem is going to be a little different. We have to get everything into improper form before we switch it to multiplication and do the reciprocal. So step 1 in this one is to take this first fraction and convert it like we always have. 2 times 10, we just did this. 2 times 10 is 20, plus 1 is 21. So I got 21 over 2. And then I'm going to take this next fraction right here, 3 1/2, and I'm going to convert that too. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. and this is going to be 7 over 2. And I am not going to change anything yet. I'm just going to convert in this first step. Now I'm going to come down here and do my second step. My second step is to take 21 over 2, and then I'm going to convert the division to multiplication, and then I'm also going to take the reciprocal of 7 over 2, and I'm going to take the numerator, and the numerator is going to become the denominator, which is 7, and then the denominator is going to become the numerator, which is 2, and now I have my problem that I need to solve, which is 21, whoops, get rid of that, which is 21 over 2 times 2 over 7. Next, I'm going to take 21 over 2 and multiply it by 2 over 7. We're going to multiply across here and across here. 21 times 2 is going to be 42. 2 times 7 is going to be 14, and I get 42 over 14. So now I'm going to come over here. Up until now, I've been pretty much dividing in my head. I'm actually going to work it out to the side here. 42 divided by 14. And again, I use this friendly number, and I'm going to say to myself, well, what is 3 times 14? I wonder what that is, because that should be about what I get, right? So I'm going to take 14 times 3, and lo and behold, after making my estimation, I can't believe that worked out this way. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. I get 42. So I'm going to put 3 up here. I'm going to multiply this way, come this way, and down. And we put it right here. 42. Whoops. 42. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Let me do that again. My pen skills need a lot of work. All right, let's try this again. 42, there we go. Subtract, and I get 0, and my answer is 3. So in this case, my estimation worked out to be exactly like my answer. And that is how we solve using two mixed numbered division pieces.